Good morning, my name is DeGraff with Quality Edge, and today we're here in West Michigan installing an InsideOut Underdeck system on this very straightforward rectangular deck. Behind us we have a 12-foot run panel length by 14 feet wide. We're going to take you all the way from start to finish on this project, and this is the first step in the complete beautification process of this lower section of this deck here. The first step here, this is a very common aspect of an InsideOut Underdeck install. What we have here is two new posts supporting this deck on the outside, and then we've added a block here. So if you think about the way this deck is set up and the way the system is built, we need a board to hang the gutter on, which is where all the panels drain. So we've got one piece of our 2x8 pre-cut right here. One will go in this section between this post and ending on our block that we fastened here to the house. The other one will go between these two posts here. We'll then be able to hang our gutter flush along the posts with the 2x8s spanning that. We'll show you those boards installed now. Okay, so we've got our gutter board hung between the posts here. Just wanted to mention, you need to have all these screws below the surface of the lumber. Your gutter will be running this way. You don't want anything blocking it, and then our side cap will dump into the gutter right here. So now that we have our 2x8 up here between the posts to hang the gutter on, what this leaves us with now is about a 3-inch space leading up to our rim joists. And one thing you can do later is just go back and trim that out, but just keep in mind, as far as water, that's outside of the underdeck ceiling system. If we had a cantilevered section with a beam, if this deck was extending past this beam and we wanted to flash joist bays to send water into the main system, this is how you flash a joist bay. I have a 16-inch on-center joist bay here, so I've cut my piece of trim coil 20 inches wide. Then I've wrapped the edges, which are going to have contact with treated lumber, with window tape. Alright, so now I've got this up here, and it does have pressure. It's going to move. I could have made it a little bit longer. You'll see if I let go, it will move. It doesn't have a lot of pressure, but my next step is going to be to screw this in with hex head screws, maybe 2 on each side, that's plenty. And then as an additional measure of protection to make sure no water is coming down here, I like to take a bead of butyl-based sealant and go right on top of the window tape all the way back and on the bottom here. So when you're installing on a cantilever, make sure you include enough time to do all this flashing. Alright, so one of the first things you want to do before you start installing trim is check the level of your deck. I've already checked this out. We have a nice straight deck, but you can envision if your deck has a pitch to it, it's either going to work with your system or against your system. So this is nice and straight, so we're going to do our traditional 1/8 of an inch per foot on our 12-foot span here.